Hey everyone, today I'm coming to you with a review on the brand new Marvel Legends Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1 Jessica Drew Spider-Woman. Now I did get this figure at GameStop Canada, and I have to say this is by far, at least in my opinion, the most intriguing and interesting figure of this wave because this is the first time in over 21 years of the Marvel Legends line that we are getting a pregnant Marvel Legends figure, which is honestly something I wasn't expecting them to make. I remember we did get the Jessica Drew comic figure from the Lizard Build-A-Figure wave all the way back in, I believe, 2018, and I think I remember seeing someone doing a custom of that figure being pregnant, and I was like, that is very interesting. So I kind of read up on the comic, and it was actually a really interesting story, but never did I think we would get anything like that in figure form, and here we are in 2023 with a pregnant Jessica Drew Spider-Woman, but not from the comics, from the upcoming Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse movie, which I'm very, very excited for. But now that I got this figure, I'm very, very excited to see what she does in this movie. But without further ado, I have a decent amount to say on this figure, so let's get into the review for the brand new Marvel Legends Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1, Jessica Drew. And as always, before I go over the figure, I do want to start off with the packaging for this figure. Same exact packaging as all the other figures in this wave. I don't really have too much more to talk about. I've talked about it extensively in my previous 3 videos of figures in this wave. But quickly, you do have Miles, Gwen, and Spidey 2099 there on the front. Marvel Legends series, Hasbro in the corner. Kind of cool image in the back, but, you know, nothing crazy. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1. There is the price of the figure, GameStop Canada, keep in mind. Miles Morales, Spider-Gwen, Spider-Man 2099. I have reviews for all 3 of those out right now. Spider-Punk will be next, but there you have a rendered image of the figure, which that one actually does look better than some of the others. That Spider-Man 2099 render was definitely not the best, but this one is not that bad compared to the others. But other than that, I really don't have too much more to talk about this packaging. It is a bigger bubble like the Spider-Man 2099, but without further ado, let's get into the Jessica Drew figure herself. And here we have the Jessica Drew figure, along with her many, many accessories, being sadly only a set of fists, which I guess makes sense if she doesn't use flipping hands or anything in the upcoming movie, but if she does, that definitely does suck that we don't have them included here, but still, either or, really disappointing accessory-wise, but to be fair, a lot of these recent Marvel Legends are. I guess it's just something that we sadly got to get used to, even though, I don't know, it's just disappointing that these figures are going up and we just keep getting less and less accessories, but that is a rant for another time. For the hands that she does have on here, really, really weird proportions. They are relaxed hands, but they are definitely animated style, as you can see. Very, very long fingers. Very, very interesting, but they still do have a purpose. I guess you could have her hold her tummy, which is kind of what I was trying to do for thumbnails, but I ended up kind of doing something else. But yeah, that does work pretty well overall, and then the fists are just fists. You do get the long fingers there as well, but you can't see them as clearly, obviously, because they are clenched up like fists, but still interesting hands overall. Now, the next thing that I want to go over with this figure is the head sculpt, and when I said this figure was intriguing and interesting, I wasn't only referring to the fact that it is a pregnant Marvel Legend, but also because this hair, this head sculpt is easily one of the biggest head sculpts that we have gotten in the Marvel Legends line. It probably has the Elektra from the Daredevil 3-pack. Medusa is in her own category, but still, this is just awesome. I'm really impressed with Hasbro's sculpting work here. I can't even imagine the amount of effort that went into doing this. It's kind of overwhelming to even just think of getting the task of having to sculpt this. It is absolutely crazy, all the detail throughout. Just take that in. Appreciate that. You know, we like to dunk on Hasbro every now and then, but you know, this, I honestly really do have to give them props for their sculpt work here. Very, very impressive. But for the actual head sculpt there, she does have a bandana or what appears to be something like that over the hair, and then the glasses here look very, very good, very similar to the comic book Jessica Drew, but you can kind of raise them up to see the actual face. You're not supposed to do that. I don't know if I would recommend that because I'd hate for them to break or something like that on your figure, but there you can see the face of the figure. Very, very beautiful face going on there. Very, very nice sculpt and paint apps as well, but other than that, I don't think I have too much more to say about the actual head sculpt. The only other thing I really want to go over with it is awesome. I love it. Don't get me wrong, but it does kind of follow with the biggest gripe of this figure, at least for me, being that she doesn't stand that well because of all this hair. Now, it definitely is, you know, able to be worked around. I have gotten a lot of shots with this figure, but when I was doing some takes earlier, she just kept falling down, so I had to cut. But yeah, definitely keep that in mind. But still, you know, for that sacrifice, you do get this awesome head sculpt, which I'm just absolutely enamored with. It is very, very impressive. Props to Hasbro overall. Very impressed with their sculpt work here. Going down to the torso of this figure, as you can see, she does have this very, very red jacket, which kind of almost reminds me of like a, I don't know, a Michael Jackson Thriller costume. I don't know if that's just me, but still a very, very nice design overall. And you do have that pregnant tummy, which does look very, very good overall. And I didn't even notice this, but she does have these black lines on this one side and then none on that side. Very, very fashionable. She does have that one little patch there. I do like this costume design overall. I will show you a comparison with the comic book Lizard Build-A-Figure Wave Jessica Drew, and they do have similarities, but they are very, very different overall, especially because one of them is pregnant. But yeah, speaking on that pregnant tummy, very, very nice sculpt work that they managed to do here. I was very impressed to see what this figure actually came out as. When all the figures leaked, I have to say, I was looking forward to some of them. We know we went over the whole thing of we were disappointed with a lot of them, but with her, I really, really wanted to see what this figure looked like in person. A pregnant Marvel Legend, that's something I really never thought we would get, but like I said, now that I have it, they really did manage to pull it off very well. Articulation-wise, I'll get into that later, but it doesn't honestly hinder it that much. You know, most modern Marvel Legends don't have the greatest ab crunch articulation anyway, but here we do have an excuse as to why it isn't that good, but still there is range nonetheless. But going on to the arms, you do have this kind of spiderweb, cobweb pattern, which to be fair is the only thing to really make this figure seem like a Spider-Verse character. If you did cover that up, you wouldn't be able to tell, but I guess that's kind of interesting. Just a little flare of spider-ness on this character. It's not in your face, but then again, I guess I like those characters with all the spider designs in your face, but that is neither here nor there. But going down to the legs of this figure, pretty simple overall, not much to see here. I guess they're trying to do like a black pants or like a black leggings. Don't exactly know what they are trying to do, but still it does look pretty good overall. And then on this side, you do have this pouch, which I don't know what would be in there, but still it is a nice design, a little extra color to add on to this figure. Very interesting how it is attached. It is attached here and then all the way around to the other side of her waist. And then her boots are very, very nice. Just this red kind of design. And you do have a little bit more detail there. But other than that, not too much more to go over with the legs, not too much more to go over with the figure overall. So without further ado, let's get on to Jessica Drew's articulation. Now for articulation on this Jessica Drew, it is pretty good overall. The head does go down that much, back not as much as you would expect. This hair does get in the way. Tilt, actually very impressive. Tilt, full 360, but once again, that hair does get in the way. Now the arms are a little bit stiff, so do keep that in mind, but they do go up that much. Down, full 360, bicep swivel, double jointed pinless elbows, which do look, well, I don't think that's the full range. Let me just do the full range here. There you go. Pinless elbows, which do look very, very good. And then both sets of hands are on a horizontal hinge. So up, down, and full 360, and up, down, full 360. Now for the ab crunch, this is kind of the most interesting. Doesn't go forward that much because of, whoa, what gets in the way? Yeah, the pregnant tummy does get in the way. Back, though, a little bit more, and then you do have some tilt to the side. But overall, you do get a pretty good range. You can go full 360, so you definitely can get some poses with this figure. And I did have a lot of fun getting the thumbnail for this figure indeed. Now for the legs, they do kick forward that much. Back, not that much. Splits, decent amount. Upper thigh cut, double jointed pinless knees, and then boot rotation. No, I thought there would have been. And then the ankles go up that much and down, and beautiful ankle rocker pivot. Now, first for comparisons, here we have the Jessica Drew next to the Miles Morales, as well as the Spider-Gwen from the same wave. And as you can see, the animated proportions do look very, very well together, as I have been expressing in all of these Spider-Verse reviews. Here we have Jessica Drew next to the Peter B. Parker, as well as the Spider-Man 2099. Here we have Jessica Drew next to the Spot, as well as Spider-Punk. Next up, here we have Jessica Drew Spider-Woman next to Cyborg Spider-Woman, and I did notice something on this figure which makes me dislike the way they release these figures even more, and that is, I'm just going to put this Spider-Woman to the side for now, if she would stand. Well, there. Look at this. Bruh, this was literally designed to be a Build-A-Figure. You can take all of the body parts of this figure apart, the head, the arms, and the legs. Next up for comparisons, here we have Jessica Drew next to Jessica Drew, two very, very different costume designs, but at the same time, definitely a lot of similarities at that, but still both very, very good figures, although I think I prefer this one overall because it's pregnant, and look at that hair, magnificent. And then lastly for comparisons, here we have the cel-shaded, animated, retro-carded Spider-Man, as well as just a standard Bucky, Cap, Hydra Soldier, but I also did want to compare this figure next to a Tom Holland MCU Spider-Man, so I could compare that to the Miles Morales. I did have someone ask to see these two next to each other. As you can see, actually very, very similar heights. I'll get them more focused in frames. Very, very similar heights overall, and they actually do look pretty good together overall. And lastly, for my final thoughts on this Marvel Legends Jessica Drew Spider-Woman figure, I gotta say, I'm very, very impressed with what Hasbro managed to pull off here. This is just such a unique character design that makes for such a unique and awesome Marvel Legends figure, and something that we haven't gotten in the line and likely will never get again. But not only is it an awesome figure for obvious reasons, but also this head sculpt is just so awesome, and I'm very, very impressed with the sculpt work going on here. But just that in combination with this just makes for such a unique and awesome Marvel Legends figure overall. But for my rating on this figure, with the price and account just being kind of a standard Marvel Legends price here in Canada, I don't exactly know what to rate this figure. I really do like it, but I haven't seen the movie yet, so I don't know what I'm really going to think of this character. That kind of goes for a lot of the characters in this wave. We haven't seen the movie yet, so I can't really, rate them on their, performance and their appearance in the movie, which is a downfall of reviewing them this early. But that being said, just on the basis of a action figure, I think I'm going to have to give this figure I'm going to give it like an 8.5 out of 10. This is just a really, really good and unique action figure overall, and that's all I really look for in Marvel Legends and Black Series. There's other things, but if it's good and if it's unique, that certainly ticks a lot of boxes for me personally. But as always, please let me know what you think of this figure in the comments below. Are you going to pick it up? Are you not? As always, I really do want to hear what you have to say with this figure. And until my next video, thank you so much for watching this one. I have been Jagger Collector. She has been Jessica Drew, and I will see you tomorrow. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, guys.